Hi guys, it's Dave with Skullcraft Customs. Today we're going to go over the details of my custom designed and built AT-802 Fireboss plane. This is for a client back east who flies these and fights fires. He's in Oregon. Him and another guy asked me to build custom planes to match theirs. That being said, I've got a two-seater I'm working on. And of course, never-ending other goodies. And this is the Fireboss. It's actually probably one of my better planes I've made as far as details go. All the way down to windshield wipers, blow cap, and that kind of stuff. Even has the mooring cleats. This is the date of birth of the child. This is the actual airplane. Now I'm going to go through the starting sequence to show you some stuff, but you'll notice sound effects. The sound effects are actually recordings from the client's actual airplane, and that includes him leading a mission, flying Firebosses, and you'll hear him talking and stuff like that. So first off, we'll go over the cockpit. Cockpit gauges are all 3D printed. You know, that's always makes things easy. I've got a voltmeter, goes up to 48 volts. This plane's designed to go 24 volts or 12. Right now I'm running 12 because it seems to be perfect. This here, this button, when you push it, activates. Get my Velcro loose. There's a pump and water assembly inside here, and that's what dumps water out. I won't show that today because I don't want to ship it with it all wet inside. This is master power. When you turn on master power, the first thing you notice is you're going to get volts and you're going to get flashing. That lets you know that the aircraft is armed, including the motor. We've got wig-wag strobes in the front. That's the water canister I'm using. The reason that I did that is because I didn't want it to come out like a garden hose. I need it to come out in a fairly large swoosh of water. So the idea is it pumps, fills that up into this level, and then that slot dumps out in a wider batch. The motors I'm using are from a Quantum Q6 wheelchair. I pick them up for about 70, 80 bucks a pair online. Sometimes I have to buy wheels that might run another 40, 50 bucks. The lettering is vinyl. The painting here on tips, that's all painted. This is my own 3D printed prop design that I came up with. I do offer these for people if they need help. I have 2-blade, 3-blade, 4-blade, and 5-blade configurations. The way I made this windshield wiper is this is actually a regular windshield wiper. I cut this down and I cut one end off. And then I welded this little piece here to give it that stuff. When the aircraft is driven by the pilot, they can do it this way, or the dad can take this, mom and dad can take this out and operate it. There are ways to adjust the throws down so you can make it really fast, real slow, whatever. I just painted, so some of this stuff doesn't want to unstick today. This here is a Smart Drive Duo. It's by Cytron. It's good up to 80 amps. It's the MDD-S30, so it's a dual channel. Right here is the remote control down in there. That's the remote control. These here are going to power and servos. So I basically have 2 channels, throttle and steering. They go in there. The antenna is up here. Got a fusible link. This is from, I think it's called 123 Electronics. It's a soundboard, and what's interesting and cool about it is you have up to like 7 or 10 channels, and what happens is when you program in your sounds, you can assign it to channels, and then there's a voltage output, and the output will match whatever switch is turned on. So if a switch is activated, in this case it activates this motor. Now you'll notice that this motor is a DC 12 volt. I'm running a 3/8 inch shaft on it. I've got, what I came up with is, my concern is if a kid steps in the way of the propeller, I don't want it to keep trying to swing and strip this out. So all I've done is I've made this belt extremely loose, and you'll see when I activate it, it works quite well. But you don't have to worry about it lopping off fingers or anything, and it doesn't really go fast enough for that. If a guy wants the propeller to go faster, you just switch out the RPMs of this motor. This is an X2 wigwag unit. That's what's giving you this, and that's what's handling my flashing strobes. This is just a distribution hub. In this case, anything on here that says A is going to be ground, anything on here is B is positive, and that allows me to hook in multiple things. I kind of don't like that it wants to autofocus. You can't see it really, but that is a voltage reducer. So that takes 24 volts, drops it down to 12 volt. That's the back half of the voltmeter. This right here is an RC switch. These are really cheap. And what I do is I wire the RC switch into the actual toggle, and that allows me to do the same thing like what it's wired in on this one. Is I push this button, that's the pump button, or I can take the remote, push 5, and do the same thing. These are the sound effects. Once the master power's on, we can activate it, and I'll show you that. There's a volume control on the side right here. These are just PVC elbows that I anchor in from the top. The cowling was made by making the general shape, and then I wrapped cardboard over it, fiberglass to that. This section here, same thing. Fiberglass is wrapped over the top of carved foam. These seat cushions are made from those knee pads that you get at Harbor Freight. You can cut them with saws. And this is a conduit that I bolt to the bottom side of the wing. Now I'm going to demonstrate how it works. Okay, so I can adjust things up or down.
correct. That's 9 or 8. Take a right turn to the south. Depart in the area. Very well. Final Charlie Ward, Charlie Bravo Victor, final 13, final 17.
What's really handy is this thing's kind of heavy. It's very, it's low center of gravity, so it's not going to tip over unless you drive it off something. And what's kind of nice is you can use the remote to actually put it back in your garage and stuff. I'm actually getting ready to start crating, and it's come out pretty cool. Definitely my pride and joy of my current fleet of planes I've designed.
Yeah, we just landed 1-3. It's full stop for us. We got the 4 float planes getting ready. It looks like depart 1-3. Okay, roger that. We'll break off at 2 mile final. How's that? Now, traffic 23354. We depart runway 13. It's going to be a right turn out to the west. Hello. Hey, traffic, departing 13, you got 3-1 traffic, about 4 miles inbound. I'm going to break out to the west also, and then south, at a 2 mile. Okay, we'll be looking for you.